Sorry I'm a little late to the news, guys, but I've been really busy with the LA Auto Show and traveling and stuff. But some news that came out in the past few days, another recall related to ICCUs, or Integrated Charging Control Units, for Kia EV6, Ioniq 5, Ioniq 6, Genesis GV60, electrified GV70, and electrified G80. This is the second recall in less than a year, and this affects over 200,000 cars in the United States alone. This new recall supersedes the previous recall, so even if you had the last one done, you are still going to have to go into the dealership and get this new one taken care of. So if you own one of these cars and want to know all the details, then stay tuned. With winter fast approaching, now is the best time to purchase some all-weather floor mats from today's sponsor, LinerX. LinerX is a Maryland-based company selling high-quality, laser-measured floor mats at a great price. They're made from TPE, which is a mixture of rubber and plastic, so they offer traction and flexibility as well as strength when you need to remove them, so you're not going to dump their contents all over your floor. If you've ever owned floor mats from, say, WeatherTech, then you know those are made from a much harder material that tends to warp over time. Not with LinerX. They also feature a simple and classy looking pattern with a lip around the entire footwell so liquids won't spread around and get on your carpeting. I've been using their front and rear floor mats as well as trunk and rear seat liners for over a year now, and they've held up admirably. So these floor mats have gotten the Ioniq Guy seal of approval, and when anybody asks which floor mats to buy, I always recommend LinerX. Available on their website or Amazon through the links in the description. So this recall was announced a few days ago. Unfortunately, I was on my way to the LA Auto Show, so I wasn't able to make this video. And it's actually kind of good that I didn't make that video the day of, because there was some information that we didn't know. A few days later, now we have most of the answers. So when the recall was first announced, they were saying there was no fix available. But now a few days later, that fix has been released to the dealerships and their service centers, and now you can make an appointment, go in and get the recall done. If you open up the Blue Link app, the Kia Connect app, and go into the service scheduling section, you can now choose this recall as what you were trying to schedule an appointment for. So for Hyundai and Genesis, the recall number is 272, and this supersedes recall 257 from a few months ago. And if you own a Kia EV6, the new recall is SC327, and this supersedes recall SC302. So just like with the previous recall, they're going to bring your car into the service bay, they're going to use their scan tool and check for an error code. If they find that error code, it now says replace the ICCU assembly and the ICCU fuse. They're then going to check if the ICCU is marked with a O, and apparently this is like a revision number to the ICCU. If it doesn't have that O, then they're going to update the ICCU's software. If it does have an O, apparently it has the latest software, and then the vehicle is just going to get given back to you. Now, if you bring your car in, they scan it, and they don't find this error code, they're going to only install new software for the ICCU, and then the car is going to be given back to you. This repair work is done free of charge, and if you incur any other charges related to having to get a rental car or something, those are also covered under this warranty, and you should be reimbursed for them. Now, even if you're out of warranty, this is still covered as it is a recall. So let's actually talk about the specifics of the recall. So they say the subject vehicles are equipped with an ICCU, which charges the vehicle's 12-volt battery and powers low-voltage vehicle accessory equipment. The ICCU may be subject to certain electrical load conditions that can cause the internal metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistors, more commonly known as MOSFETs, to fail, potentially resulting in an open ICCU fuse. An open ICCU fuse results in an inability to charge the 12-volt battery. Upon fault detection and accompanied by a series of driver warnings, the vehicle will enter a design-intended fail-safe driving mode that allows immediate full propulsion while gradually reducing motive power over time as the vehicle's battery is discharged. Vehicle systems such as airbags, braking, and powered steering remain operational. Now, the remedy that is listed in this document says, the remedy ICCU software applies an LDC output voltage soft start that prevents overvoltage at the start and end of the vehicle's battery charging cycle. Additionally, improvements to radiator fan and water pump operation improves thermal loading conditions during operation. They say that the improved ICCU software was implemented within Hyundai and Kia's production around the beginning of November of 2024. Maybe you guys have already seen my big Hyundai Kia Genesis EV survey results that I posted, I think a month or two ago now, but that showed that about 8% of Hyundai Kia Genesis EV owners have experienced a failed ICCU. So it's actually a pretty decent number of people. Now, whether that's 100% accurate or not, I can't say, but it is the only data that I currently have on the matter. And you'll see in those results that people who had the previous recall done still experienced ICCU failures. So that previous recall did not completely eliminate this problem. All I can say is let's really hope this is the last recall related to ICCUs. This issue is getting really old. I know a lot of people are really sick of bringing their cars in to get these software updates done. I really am, for sure, especially considering I have 2 Ioniqs now. So when these do come out, I've got to deal with juggling 2 vehicles, getting them into the service center. Now, Hyundai and Kia aren't officially going to mail out letters about the recall to owners until early next year. So if you want to preemptively make an appointment and go in before the big rush of people who might not watch my videos want to go in, then you can go ahead and do that right now from the app. You can go to the website or you can call the service center and just say, hey, I heard there's a recall. Let's take care of this. And this does all tie back to dead 12-volt batteries too. The ICCUs for years now have not been properly taking care of the 12-volt batteries and charging them well. So a lot of people who are experiencing these dead 12 volts, I think a lot of it comes back to the ICCU. So for those of you who are having 12-volt battery issues, at this point, your 12-volt batteries are probably shot. There's no point in continually jumping them. You're just going to have to replace them. I replaced mine with an AGM battery, I think a Wheeze battery that I got on Amazon probably 6 or 7, 8 months ago now, and I've had 0 issues with it. The car charges it perfectly fine, even though it is a AGM battery. So I will have links in the description to both recalls if you want to dig into them a little bit more, but the service centers are aware of them, so it's not like they're completely in the dark at this point. Oddly enough, Kia EV9 is not included here, so I don't know if the EV9 is using some sort of revised ICCU or some different revised software for it. It is kind of strange that it is the only EV here that is not affected, but hey, I guess that's a good thing. Keeping my fingers crossed that this is the last update. I will be getting rid of my Ioniq 5 as soon as the 2025 Ioniq 5 comes out, but I'll still have my Ioniq 6, which should still suffer from any future problems related to ICCUs, so obviously I will be covering that into the future. For those of you in the United States, if you don't hear from me in the next few days, happy Thanksgiving, safe travels, hope you have a great time with your family and friends. I will be going to Philadelphia with my fiance for Thanksgiving with her family, and then coming back to the Boston area this weekend. But holy cow, Christmas is coming up quick. With Thanksgiving being so late this year, it's kind of throwing me off how soon Christmas is going to be here. If you're watching this and you don't own one of these cars but know somebody that does and may want to get them a gift, check out my store at ioniqguy.com. I am going to be offering 10% off anything from my store for Black Friday, so be sure to check that out and take advantage of that deal. Or maybe you just want to treat yourself to something. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.